kicking into a little bit more playoff action. NBA playoffs, huge time of the year. You know, we got the defending champion Cavaliers taking on the Pacers this weekend. Barely squeaked it out by the skin of their teeth, 109 to 108. You know, here's we see Paul George draining a three. You know, this was a great game. I honestly thought that the Cavs were going to be too much on offense and just kind of take over. But, I mean, the Pacers really showed that, I mean, this is going to be a series. This is going to be a tough series. What do you think?
I believe that it was going to be a series. Last year showed me that it was going to be a series.
Yeah.
The series is when Miami Heat played the Indiana Pacers squad showed me that this series cannot be overlooked, to be honest with you. Once Paul George gets into that playoff mode in that zone where he is PG-13, he's almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
He made six of his eight threes in that game. Like, that's playoff play. That's how you play in the playoffs. And if you really want to win and you want to compete, you're going to show up every night.
Yeah.
The only thing where they went wrong was that last play of the game.
Yeah, we just saw that last little clip of the final shot C.J. Miles took. Paul George was quoted after that game saying, you know, I got to take that shot. I have to take that shot in the final seconds. What do you think?
And he's right. He may not have been right to say it in that moment. Yeah. However, he does have the option to, you know, express himself however he wants, you know. And there may have been a way of throwing his team under the bus. Who knows? However, that's the star player. That's the franchise. It's Paul George. And when star players are called upon, they want the ball. Yeah. So just give the man the ball.
I agree. And, you know, he's the leader of that team. He's their best player by far. So you got to get the ball in his hands. But, you know, in a situation like that, he was getting double-teamed by LeBron. And, I mean, he's got to kick it open to whoever's open. Yeah. C.J. Miles, he had the shot. It's just he didn't hit.
Yeah, C.J. Miles is a great shooter. He is. However, and LeBron James did make a great play at the end of that play when he wasn't guarding one.
Smart
and he
defense.
Decided to go double-team Paul George before he could even get the ball in his hands. That was a great play. However, I just feel like the draw-up of that play should have immediately got Paul George the ball.
Yeah,
no one else should have had the ball. They had time to make sure that Paul George had the ball in his hands to make a play.
Yeah.
So, moving on, Utah and the Clippers. Joe Johnson.
ISO Joe.
Yes, sir. Made a tough shot at the buzzer to seal the deal to give the Jazz the lead in the series. They're now up 1-0 against the Clippers. How do you feel about that?
This was really surprising. I mean, the Clippers, they're loaded. I mean, you got CP3, you got J.J. Redick, who can make it rain from threes.
Yeah.
You know, you got Blake Griffin, who's going to go out there and show out, and you got DeAndre Jordan, who's going to go get his too. They're full of talent, and Doc Rivers is a great coach, but something's not right with this team. I don't know if it's the chemistry. I don't know what it is, but they should not have lost that game, even with Rudy Gobert going down. That's another reason they should not have lost that game.
Yeah,
he might be done for the rest of the playoffs.
He might be.
This is just not good for them, especially since CP3 and Blake Griffin are about to be, I think J.J. Redick too, all about to be unrestricted free agents.
Yep.
So this was huge. I mean, Joe Johnson has proved in the past that he can score when he wants to, but he seems kind of lackadaisical a lot of times too. So I don't know. I mean, I think this is going to be a really close series. I think it's probably going to go to 6, maybe 7.
Okay.
I think Utah is going to pull out, though. I think they're going to win.
I do as well. I think Utah has what it takes. They're young. They're hungry. You know, they've been doubted for years.
Yeah.
Like, the Utah Jazz has become an afterthought franchise in the NBA. They now have something to fight for. No one's really rooting for them, and they're playing the Clippers. The Clippers has had the same core for, like, the past 4 or 5 years, and they haven't gotten out of, like, the second round at most.
Yeah, I don't think they've made it past the second round. I know they haven't.
So it's time. I believe that it is time for the Clippers to maybe rebuild.
Yeah.
You know, look other ways. Maybe blow up the entire franchise and just start from scratch, because that team, that core right there, has not really exceeded the expectations that's placed on them. They've got to the ceiling and went through every time.
I agree. I mean, just not working out. I mean, they had good stats though. Blake Griffin, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Chris Paul, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. I mean,
great stats don't always equal W.
You can't get beat by Joe Johnson and Gordon Hayward, and that's basically it. You can't. That can't happen. So
sad.
We'll see how that one goes. In other news, you know, Chicago and Boston. Isaiah Thomas had a great MVP candidacy season. tough news for him Saturday as his sister passed away in a car wreck. Condolences out to him and his family. This was tough for him to go out there. You saw tears coming down from his eyes pregame. Still, he looked affected during the game. He still, dropped 33 points. But this was tough. Chicago came in, got the win. Mm-hmm. How do you think this series is going to go down?
Well, before the series actually played out, I honestly thought that the Celtics had the series on lock. However, seeing that what has happened with Isaiah Thomas and his family, and I do send our condolences to his family, he has to play through that. That is on his heart right now. It was literally all over his face the entire game. You could see it in his eyes, even in the fourth quarter. That it looked like he was still crying. And that's something that really has to sit with him as well as his team. That's going to trickle to everyone. And then you cannot doubt the Chicago Bulls in the series at all. Even though their roster does not look as great on paper, you have to think about their playoff experience that's already there with the Dwayne Wade champion. Rajon Rondo was a champion. May not be the greatest player that he once was, but he's still a champion, and he knows how crucial these moments are, especially in the playoffs. So how can you count them out? And especially seeing that they took that first game and now have home court advantage over the Celtics now, it's going to be hard to count them out. I got them winning in 7.
Okay, wow. Okay. I still think Boston's going to get that. But it's going to be tough. I mean, Jimmy Butler had 30 points and 11 rebounds. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's hungry. He's going to go out there and try to get victories for his team. He's the leader of that team now. He's got the keys to the franchise.
Yep.
He's got to, take advantage of having these veterans on his team like Rondo and like Dwayne Wade. And, they got to make something happen. They got to make something magical happen. But I think Boston's too much. Mm-hmm. I think Isaiah Thomas is going to, mainly for his sister and for his family, really, give it his all, and I think they're going to find a way to squeak it out. But it'll be really tough. I think it is going to go to 7 games.
It's probably going to go 7 games.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We're just going to have to wait and see, right?
Yeah, we will.
Next up on the list of games that we have to discuss, OKC Houston. We now have our top 2 MVP candidates are in a 7-game series against each other. Yep. How do you really see this playing out, especially after the results of Game 1, almost getting blown out by 30 points?
Yeah,
OKC did. How do you feel about it?
I was really excited heading into this matchup, and I'm still kind of excited about it just because, Westbrook and Harden. Mm-hmm. I was not expecting them to get beat 118-87 the other night, or last night, excuse me. Westbrook was he looked rough. I mean, he almost had a triple-double.
Yeah.
But he also had 9 turnovers. He was only 6 of 23, I think, shooting from the field. You're not going to get it done like that. He's got to step it up. I mean, this isn't going to hurt his MVP vote. Mm-hmm. The votes are all done. But, I mean, I think James Harden just proved that he's phenomenal and he can make his team better just when he's on the court. So.
Definitely. And I agree with you on that statement with James Harden. James Harden, moving him to the point guard position in his own team, his own franchise, really being able to call the shots, really did change his career, if you ask me. He's no longer the 6th man or the additional guy to someone else's show. No, it's now his show. And I think that's really done great for him in his career. And now we are talking about him maybe being an MVP. Yeah. However, I believe that OKC, with Russell Westbrook and this team, it really reminds me a lot of Allen Iverson's heyday with the Philadelphia 76ers and just not having enough help.
He had no help.
He doesn't have enough help, man, and it's just not going to be able to get it done in the playoffs if the whole team cannot contribute.
Yeah, their biggest free agent signee from this past year was Victor Oladipo, and he only had 6 points and was 1 of 12 from the field. You can't have that. You can't have,
especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, you can't have Andre Roberson getting 18 points, 7 rebounds, being your second leading scorer. Mm-hmm. That can't happen. Oladipo's got to step up. Westbrook can only do so much.
That's true.
He can only put the team on his back for so long. Mm-hmm. So other guys got to step up for this to really be, a series.